man who put the P in P-Funk, Mr. George Clinton.
I've been D-fleed, D-ticked, and I got my rabies shot, and I'm ready to bury the bone. What's up, dog?
That's how you do it.
So let's talk about that tripping out.
That was
so how did the 60s counterculture impact you guys in
Oh, well, we thought we was players. We from New Jersey, we thought we was pimping. And so we got out there in the alternative world, we saw free love. That's all we saw. But
explain that though. What for us?
I mean, all the young kids, we were, a few years older, we about 24, and kids 18 and 19 had taken over the world. It was the hippie style that they had taken over, and we was playing colleges all the time. So instead of turning them out, we got turned out. I ended up being the oldest hippie around up until about 5 years ago.
So there was a particular, I don't know if you heard of this guy called Timothy Leary.
Oh yes, we was hanging around Harvard at that time when they was giving away. They was not giving away. They was paying you to take acid.
Was that for trials, or what was that for?
Well, that was when they were doing their studies on acid itself before it became illegal. Before it was the college doing it, and he had tune in, turn on, and drop out.
Yes, that's right.
and we was already out of school, but we was hanging, like I said, with the kids, and we got turned on, and from then on we went to Maggot Brain, America East Young. All of those kind of songs came out of those trips. And 68 we came over here and really got turned out at the Roundhouse. We used to play there, Speak Easy, Liaison. So it was a continuation of that whole psychedelic era.
So I'm wondering if you could give us a breakdown for the uninitiated, and from your perspective, how would you describe the funk and the P-Funk? What does that mean to you?
When funk grows, it's whatever it needs to be to save your life. When you can be funky, when you have a funky attitude, you do the best you can, and after that, funk it. Mm-hmm. You don't stress. You just do the best you can. And so when we put it in music, that's the way we jam. Everybody positively jamming and having a good time.
You seem like a man not afraid to make mistakes, be it through the creative process or just.
Oh, I like the way you said that. Yeah, because that's what I preach to do. You got to make mistakes to come up with something new. You can't know ahead of time everything that's good. You can't know ahead, so you got to try some things that you have no idea what's going to happen. Some people have to know exactly what they're going to do, what they're going to say at every moment. If you're good like that, fine. Ain't many of us good like that. Stevie Wonder is one of those. He can do it right off the top of his head like that. Prince will sit out and write it till he liked what he's writing. Sly Stone, the same thing. Imagine Bob Dylan, the same thing. But then you have some people who can just get it there and turn on and make sense out of anything. Eminem, he's one of those one that can do it fast and make sense out of it too.
Mm-hmm. So how has the industry received your unraveling of the whole
they
process?
Don't like that. That's why I have to put a record out on my own, because they ain't gonna go for you talking that, because that's directly in conflict with the people that's buying the advertisement. I understand that, so I have to unless I can make it interesting and funny enough for them to participate and know that they still gonna make their money. It's just that I ain't got to go along with it. It's like Michael Jackson with Pepsi Cola. He ain't gonna drink no Pepsi Cola, but you can use my picture. It's just straight business. I ain't gonna drink it. And that's when you can be that kind of truthful. Fine. With us, he's crazy anyway, so they don't bother me too much. But I ain't gonna get no easy deal, no matter how many records we still sell today. I got a record out right now, nobody hardly even know, but our fans behind it, just like it was a hit record already.
Right. Mm. So when did that truth, as you tell it now, become a component of your music, would you say?
Wow. Probably in the 60s, early 70s, as I was trying to figure out what we were doing. We came from the straight and narrow into the psychedelic, which was out there. Then we got out of that, and I realized I'm still here, so I felt lucky. So I So, I had already put it in the songs, but I don't think I was like my songs. I wish I could be like my songs. By the 90s, I was really into, I wish I could do that, because the song sounded quite interesting after you stop thinking of it as a songwriter. But then people started looking at you like you have to believe it. Wait a minute, I was just writing songs. Now I like to be like that for real. I mean, if you listen to Mothership Connection, I say, ain't nothing but a party. When I said that, that is because I'm standing up on a spaceship and I see people in the audience bowing to me. Like, preach, brother. Throw out the message, throw out the knowledge. Wait a minute. I get paid for this. And that's it. I don't know if I can say it on the radio. But
you can say it.
I'm looking for some dope and some pussy. That was just the attitude at that time.
So at what point did you accept then that your music was being perceived as a message? Just like advertising as a clear, direct action, your music was inspiring.
I got that pretty early, doing the Mothership time. But far as like really talking about that would have been the last 10 years. I mean, I knew it, but I wasn't going to get out there preaching about, but I had to figure out a way to how to see what they was getting out of it. And then I started actually getting stuff out of it and then having to do better myself. It took me up to 5 years ago to stop actually smoking crack. I mean, I've been doing that all these years. But I figured because I could make a record, ain't nothing wrong. That was bullshit. Mm-hmm. It just took me a long time to grow up.
So what made that change there, and what was that?
When it started getting to the point that the record companies were stealing the music from me and I couldn't fight back and I couldn't get records out the way I wanted to, when I realized it was messing up my ability to make new music, that was it. That was enough for me right there to get the strength.
It just, when you just said that about Humpty, there was something that I heard in a documentary where he said that, you set the formula and that people were building empires with a little bit of I'm paraphrasing, a little bit of a chunk of the funk. So you're very, as Ants was saying, so you're very open to the fact that I suppose...
To sample it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should get paid for sampling now.
Yeah.
Okay, but not at the rate that they do it. They sue... Take the copyright. You can just make it simple enough, like somebody covering somebody's song. Just pay me a little bit if the record sell. If it don't, we ain't lost nothing. That's the way it should be. And if you now don't lie now, don't say I didn't sample it when you did. That's to me is what get hip hop in trouble. Because one of the concepts was I got to keep my gangster. It ain't no fun if I don't take it. No, you can't do that. You will get sued and ain't nobody on your side.
Right.
And it was cool for a minute for style, gangster, but don't take that literally because you can't just gangster real life.
So I was going to ask you, do you discuss, and I'm intrigued, because when I think about band leaders and the role of leadership in music and creativity, I think of yourself, I think of Sun Ra, and I think of James Brown. And I'm intrigued to see how you compare your styles as leaders of men and women and of a creative process.
I'm probably more like Sun Ra. He had a big family of all kind of musicians, and for what I know about him, James, I had the same musicians. Mm-hmm. I've had Bootsy, Catfish, Maceo, Fred. I've whole band been James Brown band. And it's fun because I look at everybody that's played with him are excellent leaders. Now they might gripe
in their own right.
They might gripe about what they had to go through to be there. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you from knowing all of them can direct and lead certain things. I mean, Maceo did Prince after he left us. He's probably the best in the world at organizing, keeping bands. Fred Wesley, similar. Bootsy's been like that. So it was a total different thing from the way James did it. His is real strict and blah, 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 blah. Mine's is, I'm going to do my part, you do your part. And if I'm right, I think we're going to work. And that's about all I'm going to, I don't care. You're supposed to do what you do. I got you, coach. You do what you do. I ain't going to tell you how to do it. And that works pretty good with but you have to be an example yourself that I'm gonna do the best I can all the time. So if you ain't doing that, that's on you.
I heard a quote from Prince. Said, "If you pee on it, I'm gonna pee on it.
I did,
and we'll see where it goes."
Well, that's when he and I first got together. I did a record. I said, I'm peeing on it. I'm gonna send it to you. You pee on it and send it back to me. We ain't got to be together. I know he's quiet. He don't need to be. I know he know what he's doing. I do my part. You do your. And we did one of the best songs together. That I just did it like that and sent it to him. I had no idea he's gonna do what he did with it. Well, I was getting good.
I know.
I'm liking this. I will come back. You got the new record. Oh yeah, this is Funkadelic.